This segment of the news is brought to you by Alive.
Positive news on the economic front. More than 100 Haitians sent back home. The country's main gateway flies eye on success, and Alive heads into the schools. Good evening, everyone. I'm Leah Cooper. It's good having you with us. Moody's ups its outlook and affirms its Baa3 rating. In this report, our BJ McDermott tells us what led to the reclassification and what the government has to say about it.
According to Moody's, its change in outlook from negative to stable reflects the fact that the Bahamas has made important progress in strengthening its fiscal policy framework and transparency through the introduction of fiscal rules and more frequent and in-depth reporting of fiscal accounts. Moody's also took into account the fact that steps were taken to bolster institutional arrangements that guide fiscal policy. The government last year passed the Fiscal Responsibility Act. The act establishes fiscal rules, fostering fiscal discipline through the establishment and publication of deficit targets and debt limits. Additionally, a disaster relief fund was created, which Moody's expects will provide the government with a financial buffer to respond to climate shocks. The government has also begun publishing quarterly budgetary performance reports, as well as its first annual fiscal strategy report, which provides a medium-term assessment of the Bahamas' fiscal accounts and supports budget preparation efforts. In Moody's view, this is a significant improvement with respect to previous reporting practices and demonstrates a commitment to adopt international reporting standards for the fiscal accounts. Additional efforts, it said, will bolster fiscal policy credibility, including the government's decision to transition to accrual accounting over the coming years. Reporting for Jcn News, I'm Berthany McDermott.
Now, Deputy Prime Minister and Minister of Finance Peter Turnquest in a release says he's encouraged by Moody's opinion, adding that the reclassification underscores the strategies employed to stabilize the country's fiscal situation and strengthen the economic fundamentals. Mr. Turnquest added that after 4 consecutive downgrades and a persistent negative outlook by the rating agency, we are clearly in a much stronger position now. He acknowledged, though, that it will continue to take some time for the Bahamas to get to where it optimally should be, but that it is headed in the right direction. The Organization for Responsible Governance is hoping to launch a national integrity campaign, an initiative aimed at curbing corruption at small stages. Aside from that, it's calling for the passage of an Integrity Commission bill and Ombudsman bill. The two bills were tabled in the House of Assembly a year ago. According to the org's executive director, Matt Albury, the bills are crucial to ensuring minimal impact and opportunity for corruption. The bills, he says, will also ensure a more effective and accountable government.
And our position as an organization is that a bill like that would have made a lot of the efforts that have gone over the last year a lot clearer, a lot more effective, a lot more efficient. That monies could have been better spent in terms of setting this up. But we don't see the movement happening from the government, from the opposition, to really push and drive this forward. Additionally, we feel that the public has a major role, and as the public needs to kind of shift some of our energy from getting upset about what we see in our day-to-day to really getting in front of it and make sure we don't make these mistakes going forward.
Mr. Albury reasons there is no strong support for the bills.
Is that we need to, as a people, come forward in the same way we would have around freedom of information, in the same way people would have reacted to VAT, in the same way people would have reacted to the interception of communications. This is a critical thing that if it's in place, we can avoid a lot of the expenditures, a lot of the mistrust, a lot of the ineffectiveness and lack of transparency. So we need to kind of think about how we can be more proactive in our approach on this.
The Air Accident Investigation Department's confirming that the story surrounding a missing or crashed aircraft reported on Wednesday could not be verified. No aircraft or persons from the Bahamas or other neighboring states have been reported to the Accident Investigation Department as missing to support the claim of an aircraft that may have crashed. The Air Accident Investigation Department thanks the public for support and concern. On Wednesday, police received information from the U.S. Coast Guard, who reported that they received a mayday call from an aircraft in the area of Greater Nagua. Based on communications from the Royal Bahamas Police Force and the United States Coast Guard, all search and recovery efforts have been called off. You're watching JCN News. Stay with us.
This segment of the news was brought to you by Alive.